Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I want to talk to you about the concept of cryptocurrencies. Of course, there's our favorite XRP, but Bitcoin too, as a safe haven in times of economic turmoil. So there's this piece titled "Bitcoin as a Safe Haven, Yet Another Recession Indicator Flashes." I found this very fascinating. Look forward to sharing that with you. I've also got a Twitter thread I want to talk to you about. Got former Ripple employee Bob Way talking about David Schwartz and Arthur Brito, two of the creators of the XRP ledger. And is one of them Satoshi Nakamoto? Well, of course not. But it is discussed. Right? And then I'm going to end the video on a positive note. There's a piece from CoinDesk about crypto donations to Fidelity. So check that out. Before we get going, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button. And if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, my friends, you're doing the right thing by checking out the channel. I do appreciate the support. Go ahead and subscribe. All right, let's get into this piece. For the umpteenth time in a matter of weeks, a recession indicator has started to flash. Bitcoin, which has begun to be classified as a safe haven asset, may stand to benefit from such a move in traditional financial markets. Over the past few months, the world's analysts and investors have begun to fear a recession. While some are optimistic as ever, calling for new highs to be established for the S&P 500, and more data is hinting at an impending drawdown in traditional finance, the Bitcoin, as aforementioned, might be the beneficiary of such a move. As pointed out this week by Twitter account OddStats, United States Treasury data shows that 1 month treasuries yielded more than all maturities through the 30-year Treasury. What this means is that a short-term purchase of government debt had a higher yield than all long-term debt. For those with knowledge of basic economics, this makes close to no sense. Here we go. OddStats points out that the last time this happened was in 2007, prior to the Great Recession. Should history repeat, the market may have another few months to run prior to a drop. And by the way, guys, to me, conceptually, we are well past due for a recession. Statistically speaking, recessions occur in the United States anyway every 7 years. We have been in a 10-year bull run. We are past due, boys and girls. It's coming eventually. I don't care what anybody says. I just don't know what the timing is. But I got to admit, it's kind of surprising that it's been 10 years, and allegedly everything's looking rosy. And so you got to ask, too, what did we learn, especially during the last major crypto run-up in terms of price, that parabolic run-up, especially in December 2017 and then January 2018 when XRP hit its all-time highs? What did we learn about buying at the top? Pretty bad, right? Well, in terms of stocks in particular, pretty much the best it's ever been, which means, this is not financial advice at all, but maybe not the best time to buy. Of course, if you have a long-term outlook, if you're really going to be putting money in regularly for, decades and decades, especially if you're pretty young, it doesn't matter. You can't really worry about the price. If you're thinking long-term like that, yeah, of course it still makes sense. It's really the only reasonable way to do this. It's the only reasonable way to invest. You don't worry about the price. You just understand the U.S. economy is going to be here, and you just keep counting on that for at least a chunk of your retirement. It seems reasonable to me anyway, not financial advice, but that's the way I look at it. So, but anyway, it makes me think, so with the crypto, the current state of crypto, even if we're in a bull market right now, which I believe we are, despite the turmoil in terms of XRP price and just the market tanking over the last couple of days, I still think that the overall upward shift is, it's going to be green. It's coming. I think that, given that I don't like to buy at all-time highs, and I think that we're nowhere near where this bull run's going to end up taking us, I'm more confident, and again, please don't act on anything that I'm saying here. I would like to share with you, though, I'm more confident at this point putting money into crypto than I am in the stock market, because I feel like the stocks market's going to tank, housing is overvalued, that's in a bubble too, real estate, and crypto, not in a bubble. Crypto is not in a bubble. And it's going to be here forever. The asset class is not going away. So that's what it is. Anyway, the piece continues here, though. Speaking to an analyst a year or two ago, they may have suggested that Bitcoin will fall in tandem with equities, just like blue chip stocks getting slammed in 2008. But now it seems that a recession will only do good for Bitcoin. And by the way, I know this is about Bitcoin, but understand that cryptocurrencies, they are today all moving perfectly, not perfectly, but they're moving in tandem price-wise with Bitcoin. So this applies to XRP, and that's what I'm buying on a regular basis. So every time I say Bitcoin in this article, you might as well be thinking XRP. It is moving in tandem, even though it is, as I always say, and it's true, it is the least correlated price-wise to Bitcoin out of all the top 10 cryptocurrencies. But still, it does move. If you zoom out far enough on a chart, you will see it's moving in tandem still. All right, anyway, Metro, the United Kingdom's highest circulation newspaper, recently released a Bitcoin article to its website. In it, a writer at the outlet accentuated that Bitcoin is less influenced by instability in the economy, a safe haven asset or store of value, and is much more private than traditional forms of money. Wall Street analysts and a number of prominent crypto investors have echoed this analysis. Bloomberg recently spotted that the correlation between gold and Bitcoin has nearly doubled in the past 6 months, rising to just over 0.842 from 0.496. Just look at this chart from Binance's research division, which shows that when gold spiked due to a fresh Trump tariff, so did the world's favorite cryptocurrency. Well, how about that? With a recession brewing, which has been underscored by macroeconomic turmoil and geopolitical uncertainty, the Hong Kong protests, trade wars, irresponsible monetary policy, etc., gold is likely to rally, as will Bitcoin. So what do you think about that? I tend to agree. And if you just think about the timing of it all, like I said, you're looking at all-time highs in terms of stocks, and then you're looking at you're looking at the crypto asset class coming out of what is widely known as crypto winter. We're starting to get into bull territory, it's looking like. I mean, Bitcoin's looking good on the calendar, right? It's outpacing the S&P 500, that's for sure. So that's something. Yeah, you can tell me what you think below. Check out this thread. This is fun here. I read this earlier today, so I don't completely remember it, but let me read through this again because I like what Bob Way had to say here. Colonel XRP tweeted this out. This is the kind of kid Bearable Guy 123 is, and XRP community is looking up to him for hope in the form of riddles. We reported this Twitter account, and Twitter asked for verification, so he went to his Reddit sub and placed this message for dramatic effect. This is not the reason that I'm pulling up this article, but if you want to, I'm not going to read this. You can feel free to hit pause on the video and read what's on the screen if you feel so inclined. It doesn't really matter. I could probably get that. Maybe I should just jump into Bob's, really, because I don't think this matters. Yeah, it's safe to jump in here. I remember this. So Bob Way writes this, and he was Ripple's 10th employee, former Ripple employee. Now I think he was with them until May of last year. Anyway, he writes, I'm pretty awful with riddles and probably the least cryptic person you'll ever meet. It is probably worth asking the people I've met face-to-face at XRP meetups whether or not they find me bearable. And seriously, why the 123 was Bearable Guy really taken? It's kind of funny, by the way. And then, so XRP Neo writes, so that confirms you know about him. And then Bob Way writes, everyone keeps asking me if I am Bearable Guy 123. Of course, I've heard of him/her, but I have no idea how to actually follow what or where he posts, nor do I really care to. The last thing I saw had a Christmas thing. Like CKJ Crypto News, I think that BG is probably Polly. Right? And then Oscar Arneson says, hi, Bob. The results from the polygraph are in. Don't worry, they're not submittable as evidence. That's just good. And then Bobby writes, LMAO, really, someone tell me who to follow or where to look. I can't tell BG123 from 321GB. Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, everyone seems to have named themselves Bearable something or other, right? And then let me go a little bit further down here. So XRP Neo writes, on a completely unrelated note, who's the biggest genius, David Schwartz or Arthur Brito? That's what I really want to know. And then Wolfman Knows writes, Arthur, because no one knows publicly anything about him. Michael Abernathy writes, LOL, he is very, very interesting, Brito. My opinion, Satoshi Nakamoto, Arthur Brito, both mysteries. David Schwartz, a.k.a. @JoelKatz, are the same person. Call it a hunch, but it's a pretty strong hunch. And so Bob Way writes this, Arthur and David are not the same person. I sat in the same room with both of them last month. Both are really smart. Together, I think they are greater than the sum of their individual characteristics. I thought David was Satoshi, but I no longer believe that. Maybe Arthur. Yeah, so he's teasing, of course. No, that would be something, though. But yeah, this Arthur Brito guy, it's amazing for, like, as a substantial role as he's had in crypto history, I would say, with being a co-creator of the XRP ledger. He does not like the limelight. And that's fine. Nothing against that whatsoever. That's perfectly fine. But it's just fascinating to me that I don't think there's one single picture of this man on the internet. So I trust that he exists. Especially, I don't think Bob Way would lie about this. But nobody has freaking seen this guy. You know, because the three that started, again, it's Arthur Brito, David Schwartz, and Jed McCaleb. They're the three that actually created the XRP ledger. And two of them are quite public. And then the other, it's just like a ghost. It's amazing. So I don't know. It's something I thought I'd share it with you. I found it fascinating. All right, last piece here in this video, and then I'll wrap it up. This is from Coindesk.com. Fidelity's charity arm has received over $100 million in crypto donations. I thought this was cool stuff. Fidelity's charity arm, Fidelity Charitable, said late last month that it has received more than $100 million in cryptocurrency donations since 2015. In total, more than $106 million worth of cryptocurrencies has been granted to Fidelity Charitable since it first began accepting this form of donation, according to the firm's annual report published late last month. Year over year, however, the number of crypto donations has dropped. In 2017, cryptocurrencies represented the fastest growing asset type accepted by the firm, with more than $69 million in donations. The basis slowed in 2018 to $30 million in donations, according to the annual report. We see cryptocurrency donations rise along with increases in the value of cryptocurrencies in the marketplace, said a company representative. Likewise, Fidelity Charitable Marketing head Amy Perozzalo, which I may be butchering there, said now that cryptos are facing a downturn because people are less likely to offload them as charitable assets. This is related to the diminishing value of tax deductions charitable donors would be able to claim. So I still think that it's cool, and even if there's a shift, I mean, keep in mind, part of it, 2018, crypto winter, okay, you can imagine the effect that would have, and then also there's tax implications, and I'll link to this, so if you want to read the tax stuff below, there's just a little bit more to this, but I'm not going to cover it in this. But I guess that's it. This is probably a good stopping point for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate the support. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!